This morning I'd like to talk to you guys about something that's pretty important to me, and if a lot of you guys think about it, it's probably important to you too. For centuries, one thing has bound humanity together. One symbol is so good and so pure that it's transcended world wars, natural disasters, and international crises. Of course, I'm talking about pizza. Since its inception, pizza has impacted culinary culture and has revolutionized the way that we stack food on top of bread. This morning I'd like to review the impact of pizza on the modern world. We'll be looking at pizza's saucy past, meaty present, and cheesy future. Pizza had its humble beginnings in the city of Naples around the late 18th century. It was considered peasants' food, just crust and bread and sauce and some toppings, and it was generally looked down upon by most of Italy. However, once Italy was unified in 1861, King Umberto and Queen Margherita took a trip down to Naples, where the Queen fell in love with their classic Neapolitan version of pizza, which was a crust, red sauce, mozzarella cheese, and basil, which conveniently are the colors of the Italian flag. Henceforth, this pizza was known as the Margherita pizza, and it kind of took off in Italy from there. However, it stayed pretty local to Italy up until the early 20th century, once the immigration boom happened. Italian immigrants brought pizza over and started making it in places like Chicago and Boston, and New York City started making it and selling it in their family stores. From here in through the mid-20th century, pizza really took off and spread all the way across America. And then something really interesting happened. According to food critic John Marini, pizza had a reverse influence after coming to America. Like blue jeans and rock and roll, he says, the rest of the world, including the Italians, picked up on pizza just because it was American. So it actually became more popular in Italy once it was popularized in America, and also spread to the rest of the world. The next step will take us from pizza's history to the present, from a peasant's meal to a Guinness World Record. Margot's Pizzeria in the tiny island country of Malta holds the world record for the world's most expensive pizza. $2,400 will buy you a pie with white truffles and actual flakes of gold leaf on top. And while most pizzas these days aren't quite that extravagant, there is a wide variety of them above and beyond the normal pepperoni and cheese that we're used to. Pizza is so popular that it currently holds the number 4 spot of most popular foods in the whole world, behind pasta, meat, and rice. According to the Huffington Post, 41% of Americans eat pizza at least once a week, which is up from only 26% in 2010. Looking at the future of pizza, unfortunately my research didn't find flying delivery cars or dehydrated space pizza for the general American public, but it did show us a new trend in the way that we find, order, and share our pizza. The American population is relying more and more every day on our cell phones, our mobile devices. And because of that, a lot of companies are starting to cater to that. Places like Domino's and Papa John's and Pizza Hut are beginning to offer extra features for those who use their mobile phones to find and order their pizza. Things like extra discounts and deals, and even a pizza tracker, which tracks the making of your pizza from the time that they lay the dough down to the moment it arrives at your door. In addition to this, social media has begun to determine where and what we eat. With the popularization of social media platforms like Twitter and Yelp and other things, we can read what our friends and family are eating and where they're eating, and make our decisions of where and how to eat based on those reviews. The integration of mobile devices in our pizza ordering makes something that was already popular into a process that is more streamlined and efficient. Now that we've reviewed the past, present, and future of pizza in the modern world, I'd like to leave you guys with a quote, with my favorite quote from actor and director Mel Brooks. which is sex is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good. So I hope this presentation has inspired you to go out there and, good, bad, or ugly, get some pizza. Thank you.
She just can eat pizza.
Okay, my turn. The introduction, I appreciated the opening statement. There's a little bit of intrigue that you build up and we get a nice surprise. Thank you for not doing an audience survey. I appreciate that very much. I thought you had a very fun set of goals for the speech. There's clever language built into it. And I like that idea at the beginning of the speech. I missed it a little bit during the speech. I thought you could use a few more of those kind of cheesy puns, as you said, you know, and maybe a couple of saucy comments. And maybe a slice of life story. There's any of those kinds of things would be, you know, a little extra. But I thought that it was prepared very nicely, and you did a good job setting it up and making it interesting as you're doing that. There's nice research in the presentation, so that the story that you told was pretty good, and the information I thought was interesting as well. The visual factors in the presentation. You've got a few gestures that are indicators. I think your eye contact is really good with the audience. You do have a tendency to sort of rock back and forth on your feet, and that's probably just where some of your anxiety comes out. The other thing is your facial expressions. Most of the time you look like you're enjoying what you're talking about, but once in a while I get just this look on your face that looks like you're a little anxious, and I'm not sure if you are masking it up or if it just snuck out there, but I think you need a little bit more control over those sorts of things. That big page in your hand becomes a little bit of a distraction. I know you needed a little bit to get some of the stories and some of the language transition things that you have there. If there's any way to make it smaller and less obvious, I think that would be a better thing to do. Your voice generally projects well. Again, I think that there are a couple of places where anxiety creeps out a little bit in some hesitation and maybe not so much the articulation issues, but it feels sometimes like you drop your voice just a little bit, you know, when you're a little uncertain, and probably a little more practice would help you with that, because it feels like everything is right there, and it's just, like I said earlier, we need some polish on it, maybe a little bit of polish, you know, that last go round where you're wiping it off right before the family comes over, you know, not the deep cleaning kind of polish that you need to do sometimes. All right. That's it. All right. Thank you.